Hello, Lorinda Carr here for Daily Vibe Check. This is Monday, March 1st, 2021. It's a new month, a new start, and it's even on a Monday, so got a new week. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Love to hear if you watched the Daily Vibe Check on Friday. Would love to hear how the weekend played out for you and if the overall vibe fit. So if you didn't watch that, make sure to go back and watch it, because I did a 3-day, so I could just kind of take a break. Plus, we got a lot going on around here. All right, so let's see, what does Spirit want us to know on this Monday for our greatest and highest good? What are there obstacles? Are there good things coming that we should keep our eye out for? All right, what does Spirit want us to know? Judgment. Judgment is the first card. So judgment is, it's a conclusion of something, but not like in your typical sense. It is the end of a cycle. It's something that you must let go of. Okay, because in order for something to move on to its next life, we have to let go of it. So let's see what card goes with it. Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is all about contemplation. And it's, swords are, I look at it as like the thinking card. It's the cool, rational card. It can also be the cutting at everything, things out card. Figuring out what steps you need to do, what's worked so far for you, what hasn't. Just taking a step back and contemplating. You can see he's just laying there. Yeah, he's got 3 swords hanging above him, all crisscrossed, and one underlying. Yeah, one that's underneath there. So there's this feeling of contemplation and how things are supposed to play out and end. And judgment can also be an overall vibe of like rebirth, renewal. So maybe, okay, actually it is. It's March 1st, 2021. How are we moving on? How are we moving on from 2020? Because if you think about it, a year ago, we were preparing to go on lockdown. Still not quite sure what we were dealing with this global pandemic. Now, a year later, we're rolling out vaccines, we're doing all these things. So, but some of us are still thinking, what do I want to do? How do I want to go forward? And also, maybe this was an end of a way of life. How many of you just changed the way you do things, period? How you work, how you interact with your children, how you learn. Most of us have gotten pretty used to being at home, and we really like being at home for some things. And now that things are going back to normal, a little bit at a time, how's that going to play out for us? What are we going to keep? What are we going to get rid of? What are we going to, what from this past year of craziness are we going to adopt and keep it going forward? Like for me, I didn't mind teaching on Zoom. I do miss the interaction with the kids. There's something about bonding and getting, it's not just about dance steps, but really getting to know them and being in their energy. So Zoom was a great opportunity to continue watching them grow and continue connecting with the kids and teaching them and still being safe at home. And as we roll out, we'll open our new dance studio here in Westfield. As we roll all this out and start getting kids in there, how can we still connect? It was really cool. Last Thursday, I got my friend hurt herself. I'm sad, but she hurt herself and was like, hey, I need a sub. Oh, by the way, she lives in Arizona and I'm in Indiana. And I was like, she's like, but could you teach my classes for me? They have everything set up at the studio. So all these kids were in the studio. I'm in Indiana, and I taught a really fun class. We had a blast. We had so much fun. So to me, yes, we're rolling back out, getting into the studios. We're going back to normal life, but how can we incorporate what we learned and that technology? I just taught a class across the country, made new connections. And so, I mean, how it's time to think the past year, as we're coming up on the anniversary of this pandemic chaos, how, what are you keeping and what are you cutting away? You know, what are you going to get rid of? So let's see. You know what? Let's do a Sacred Traveler card. Oh, I missed one. Sacred Traveler card. And see, since none of us are really traveling yet, but we're hoping to. Let's see what Spirit wants us to know. What message goes along with this feeling of what are we going to keep? What are we going to cut away as we start this new journey? You know, when we die, we go to a new place. We go to that collective conscious. We go to the other side, you know. So what are we going to take to the other side with us as we finish out and close out this year, as we close out this age, you know, as we're going into the age of Aquarius? What are we taking with us? What are we leaving behind? All right, let's see. Vast vistas, expand your horizons. I like this. So as we're saying goodbye to some things, you know, how many of us were just like not even having family dinners anymore? And then I found myself, you know, when the kids were home, we were actually enjoying time with each other. I was cooking dinner, we were having dinner every night together, and we were at home, but it was fine. It was fine. And now that things are going back to normal, we're finding that we're kind of spread out again. So how are we going to deal with that, right? So expanding our horizons. How can we take what we've learned this past year? How can we take what we've learned and, you know, what works, what doesn't, and what we do see was working? How can we expand on that? How can you expand on that? How can you say, you know, look at the things that we thought were temporary, but like virtual learning. Oh, that's so temporary. Is it though? What about working from home? Period. Doesn't have to be dance, doesn't have to be anything like that. What about working from home? It's doable. How can we expand on that in order to enrich our daily lives? Not as a substitute necessarily, but as a way to enhance the lives that we wish to have. So that's where I think this whole vibration is. It's a day of reevaluation, contemplation, thinking, you know, how does this play out? And what do we keep? What do we get rid of? And I think this is a perfect time as we come up on the 1-year anniversary of this pandemic and life ending as we knew it a year ago. Think about how, think we could just walk up and hug people or shake people's hands. Now, like when I'm making business deals, I can't really shake hands with people, you know, and that bothers me. But at the same time, I'm not going to let my ego get in the way of and cause someone death. So we're going to, we'll forego that for now. So think about what we are giving up and what we're going to take with us as we move into this new age. So, all right. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I invite you to do so. If you are a regular, welcome back. Thanks for coming back and listening. And I would love to hear your comments. Let me know what your thinking is. You know, what for you, what did you take away from this last year during this pandemic that when life turned upside down, what changed for you? I know I reference dance a lot because that's pretty much all I do. I teach dance and do tarot and hypnosis, and then I'm a mom and I clean my house. So not a whole lot going on here. I'd really like to expand my horizons and be able to travel again, specifically like out of the country and go see the world again. That'd be amazing. Yeah, but for right now, I'll have to settle for virtual tours online and that'll be fine for now. So what have you done? What are you going to take into this new age, into this new year, as we transition out of an old way of thinking and into a new life, really, as we're ending something and coming into rebirth. We're going towards rebirth. Think about it. What are you keeping? What are you getting rid of? All right. Have a good one. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye.